We have to talk about Darcey and Stacey because it was just on not so long ago and it was such a breaking drama. I figured we might as well include this in the breaking news for the day. So here is the deal. Drum roll, please. Georgi's car got repoed. Yes. Georgi, who is engaged to Darcey and Darcey and Stacey, his car got repoed. And I was watching it thinking, am I the only one thinks this is completely unbelievably crazy? Here is the deal. Okay, Georgi had to go back to Virginia to get his belongings because he was actually still renting a room from a friend of some sort. I don't even know. You could never figure out what Georgi's even talking about half the time, but he apparently is renting a room. He was, and he wanted to end the lease. He's now living in Connecticut, so he went to go and get his belongings, and of course, I don't know why, but Stacey and Florian decided to tag along, probably just for the show, and when they were driving there, Darcey was driving. When they were going, Darcey just said, hey, Georgi, what do you have to pick up? What things do you need? And it's weird because it's almost like she knew, but I don't even know. It's almost like she would have known. But she knew that he had a car, and so she, he was like, I don't know what I have to move until I get there kind of things. He never will ever give a straight answer. That's what I'm starting to kind of realize about Georgi. But, she asked him that, and then she goes, well, what about the car? Or something kind of along those lines. And he goes, the bank took it. And I'm just like, what? What? A car getting repossessed, at least in my eyes, is a gigantically huge deal. Number one, now you don't have a car. I think the way it works is all the money you've put down, like you can't sell it. I don't know. Yeah, like you lose it. That's it. If you stop making the payments on it, everything you put into it is gone. And your credit is probably completely ruined too. So this guy out of nowhere just goes, oh yeah, the bank took it. And Darcey, Stacey and Florian, they didn't have much to say. And this is why I think Florian honestly is kind of buddy-buddy with Georgi. I'll get more into that in a minute because they act like they can't stand each other at times. But like Florian was trying to change the subject for Georgi, so he wouldn't look bad. But Darcey was just like, what? Your car got repossessed? And then he was just like, nothing I can do. Say, what are you talking about? Yeah, there is something you can do. You can pay the thing, and if you can't afford to pay the bill, sell the thing. But the first thing is, if you can't afford to pay that bill, Georgi, you gotta start selling some of your clothes because he walks around in like luxury designer clothes 24/7. You gotta sell the crap. But yes, his car actually got repossessed. I cannot believe it. And I'm starting to think all of the comments about the money and how Darcey pays for everything and how he kind of had money hidden. This is why now I'm starting to think, nothing against the guy. We're not trying to shame him or anything for not having much money, but that's why I'm starting to really believe he lives a show. His life is, when it comes to the finances, is a complete lie. He puts on a big front with all these big clothes and the designer stuff, but if you really look at Georgi, it's all a complete lie. If you can't pay your car bill and your car gets repossessed, now your credit is probably completely shot, but it's like, the worst part is, now, what are you doing buying all these clothes? So, yeah, it's just, to me, it's ridiculous, and he claims this. Darcey was like, why didn't you ever tell me this? And they kind of talked about it later in the episode too, and he basically said, I was trying to protect you, I didn't want to make you scared or nervous, but she was like, as your fiance, you should feel comfortable telling me everything. But I kind of get the whole protection thing too, but either way, if you're going to be married to someone, they should know everything going on with your finances and the whole story and the whole situation, so he really should have probably told her. He might have just felt dumb, which I get, because that is an embarrassing situation, but it's like, if you want to marry this girl, dude, you should at least be straight up and tell her that your car got repossessed. So, I don't even know how he gets around, now that I think about it, because Connecticut, as far as I'm aware, is not a walking city. This is why this show is so redundant. Now that I'm saying this out loud, Connecticut is not a walking city. I don't think it's much of a public transit city either if you're going to go to the grocery store and stuff. So how does this guy get around? Is he driving one of Darcey's cars? But wouldn't Darcey have said, we're not in some big old New York City Times Square where you can't have a car? Georgi, where is your car? So I don't know what his excuse is for not having it there. And also, he had a car when we first saw him on Darcey and Stacey season 1. So I'm sorry guys, the more I tell this story, the more I'm kind of like, I don't even know what to believe now. So this is crazy. Comment below what you guys think. If you have a thought, comment, or any inkling of an idea of what is going on. It seemed so crazy, I kind of think it was real, but maybe she always knew. Maybe it was just made up for drama. In my eyes, I think George doesn't make much money. He doesn't work, and he probably has some ongoing bill to some extent, and he's buying all these crazy expensive clothes. He probably just didn't pay the bill and just figured, it's a lost cause, whatever, and he's too embarrassed to tell anyone, maybe. Really weird situation, but comment below what you guys think on that topic. But like I was saying, they were going to Virginia to go grab some of his bags and his last belongings. And the funniest thing that Darcey did say that I want to mention real quick before we go on to what happened was she goes, "What are you going to grab, Georgie?" And Georgie goes, "I don't know, I'll have to wait and see till I get there." And then she goes, "Well, you know what? You've been living in Connecticut for the past like months and months and months. If you haven't needed it now, you're probably never going to need the crap." So that is kind of a hilariously true point by Darcey, but they make it to Virginia. With Stacey and Florian, not a thing's going on. They're trying to have a baby. She wants to go to the doctor. Florian, I'm sorry, excuse me. Florian is not in favor of going to the doctor. He's basically just saying, if God wants us to have a kid, we will. He's very religious, apparently, and he wants to just go by the grace of God, and if God allows it and it's in their will, they'll have one. If not, they won't. Now, remember, Stacey's 46 years old, and so it is kind of borderline. Is this even, like, healthy, safe, good? Is that normal? It's definitely on the older side of having a baby. So it sounds like, because Florian does say we can go to the doctor. He finally gives in and agrees. And then it sounds like they do go to the doctor. She has a little bit of an issue. And now they're trying to go down that IVF journey. And I have no idea where that brings them. I know that she has kids that are anywhere from like 15 to 17 years old. So it'd be kind of awkward to now all of a sudden have another kid that is so much younger. But if Florian wants to have a baby, I guess that's the only way. So they are going to go down the IVF journey, and we will see what happens. She's just been kind of teasing it on social media, but she did not give the actual result and outcome of what goes down. So that was basically it for them. But Georgi and Darcey, it's really just not looking good. Let me just start by saying I think Georgi is completely hilarious, but I think he's a complete liar. That is the stance. I'm putting my foot down. I'm saying it. Let's just disregard Darcey. Darcey is clearly a drama queen and dramatic and this, that, and the other, and she's ridiculous to watch. But Georgi, I thought he was kind of funny. I thought he was a genuine guy. After seeing the money thing and the sock thing and how he is really vague and how he's not really trying to get a job, I think he's a liar, and I think he wants to be with Darcey, for one, for the fame, and for two, for the money, because they definitely are getting paid something. Like, he for sure is getting paid some amount to be on this Darcey and Stacey show, and I think the guy clearly needs money, so I think he's using her. I don't think he wants any, I don't think he's in love with her. I think he wants to be on the show, and I think he knows that Darcey is unbelievably desperate for a man. He's just filling that role. That's all I really think. So they go to Virginia. She wants to, first off, she wants to go and see where the guy used to live. That was the funniest part. She goes, "Can I come in?" And he goes, "No." And it was because of the pandemic, and I get it. You don't want to, it's a crazy time right now, so he didn't want her going in. But I can tell you guys one thing. They are getting tested for sure before they film anything for this Darcey. And like, when they go anywhere, they're getting probably tested maybe once a week, for all this stuff. So that was a complete lie, because they knew she was probably negative. She was probably perfectly fine. And Georgi, I just don't think he probably just didn't want the cameras and whatnot going in his house, because he was probably embarrassed on where he used to live. The house was not very big, and I'm not trying to be rude or shame him. It's just like, yeah, if anything, like that's a fun thing to show your significant other where you used to live. It actually, for me, it's like memory lane. It's fun. It's an exciting thing. You're bringing a person into your past life, and you can kind of mesh the two, and it's an exciting thing. So I call complete crap on that. Then they finally go and meet up with Georgi's quote-unquote, and if you are listening to this as a podcast, let me just say I am doing air quotes as I say this. They went and saw his friends. Key the air quotes. These people they could have found on a street corner and just given them a bunch of fancy clothes and said, "Okay, you guys are going to play Georgi's friends," because they really knew nothing. They knew like nothing about him. I consider friends, well, at least my close friends, people that actually know crap about me. These people, they like never met they didn't meet his wife for years and years and years. I think one of the girls actually never even met her. And there was 3 people there. So these are like one of his 3 closest friends, and they've never even met his wife. They had no idea he was living in Connecticut. It's like, what does he tell these people? Does he keep in touch with them? Does he ever talk to them? They really did not know much of anything about him, or his finances, or his dating, or his ex-wife, or anything. So for all we know, those people could have been, found on a street corner, and he just brought them in and said, "You're going to pretend to be my my friends because they knew absolutely nothing about the guy. I mean, I don't know about you, but it's like first he has the issue with, you know, the whole thing with how he doesn't want to get a job. Then he has the issue of hiding money. And let's just disregard the money thing, but he doesn't want to get a job. He's not trying to get a job. Then she goes to his old house. He won't let her in. Then, you know, his car gets repossessed. He never told her until she asked. And then she goes to meet his friends, and it's like they don't even know a first thing about the guy. So if I was Darcey, I would run. I would say, I'm done. This has been fun. You're a hilarious guy. I think Georgi is very funny, but no. So they go to the dinner with these friends. Darcey starts kind of somewhat sort of grilling, Darcey and Stacey both were kind of grilling the friends, and that's when they were talking about, you know, paying the bills and the this and the that and what Georgi's usually like. And then, of course, the friends just defend Georgi and just act like, you know, it's sunshine and rainbows and he's amazing, cookies and cream, everything's so good, when it's like, that's not the case at all. And they kind of got mad at Darcey and Stacey, and that's when actually Georgi kind of jumped in. Then he got mad at Florian got mad at him. It was one big, you know, drama, but at the end of the day, the thing is, no one really knows this guy. He's very quiet. He keeps to himself. And if I was Darcey, this was a logical decision she was trying to make on whether to marry this guy or not, I would say absolutely run. So comment below what you guys think of Darcey and Georgi and Florian and Stacey, but really seriously, comment below what you think of the whole Georgi situation. Maybe I'm overstepping. Maybe the car repossessed thing wasn't a big deal. But I just feel like if my car, God forbid, or maybe your car got repossessed and I was, you know, engaged to someone, I would tell the girl. I would 100% tell the person. It's embarrassing. And that's why I feel like a real true relationship, even if a relationship should be for the ups and the downs. If they're not there in the good and the bad, you shouldn't want them. And honestly, Darcey, like, I think Darcey, like, is gonna be there for that. Like, I think she really is a ride or die kind of a girl, which sounds crazy, I know. But I think if you treat her right, because she's so desperate to be with someone, I don't think she would ever leave anyone. Like, you think about it. Her and Jesse was kind of a weird situation, but Tom left her. And now we have Georgi, and it's like, he's lying, he's not working, and she's still there for him. So I think she's really gonna be there for the guy if he will let her. And she even said it, tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, tell me what's going on, and I'll be there for you. And Georgi's just not doing that. So I think we're gonna get to a point, maybe, possibly, potentially, where they just call it quits. Because if he can't tell her this stuff now, how is she going to be able to trust the guy for the rest of her life? But of course, I could be wrong, I could be overstepping, so comment below what you guys think.